Good morning and welcome. It is Friday, the 1st of April. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, coming up today, we've got a normal staking day. We'll do the recap of yesterday and we'll do a word on the golf. Before I do, super important announcement for the Flat Cap Callum train. We are going to be decoupling some carriages on the Flat Cap Callum train. What does that mean? It means there's going to be some standard bets in our standard carriage, and for those first class Flat Cap Callum train passengers who give me a bunch of money in a PayPal account, you can have the best bets you can possibly imagine. I'll remind you, it is the 1st of April and this channel is and always will be free. Okay, hopefully nobody just turned off after that. Right, yesterday, an improvement but still no good, I think is how we would describe it. We did have a winner. I made it 20 on and 8.35 back, so 11.65 loss is what I had on the channel bets. Let's have a quick spin through. So this was no good. Benign Dictator was got turned over. Casatul unseated, unfortunately, and Glen Castley was disappointing. So no good bet one. Still terrible run here on win bets. Then the Lingfield bet, Mr. Fussett was disappointing. The next two, and I said this yesterday, this probably is a bit of a Sky Bet only one. The next two did in fact come fourth. So I think Sky Bet were the only ones who paid it. So if you did it with Sky Bet, you made a profit. If you did it with anyone else, you probably didn't on bet two. Bet three, we managed to get a winner and not much else in here. Flash the lights, 9-1 is all I got for the channel bet. 12-1 if you SP'd it, so much better SP than what I had in the morning bet for that. But that was where most of our return came from. Bet three. And then bet four, we had Lord Sparky place, but again, I'm not sure anyone else outside Sky Bet paid it. It didn't really make much difference. It was about 42 pence. The rest of them are disappointing. I put a comment in the review yesterday I did on about Chelmsford. It was a funny old day at Chelmsford yesterday. It was really slow. There's a lot of kickback, dirt going up. And what it meant is that just nothing that was going to be a closer came really that close. So if you look at the actual results from Chelmsford yesterday, almost all the races were won by a horse that made virtually all. And you don't see that every time at Chelmsford. It does happen. But yeah, the ground was obviously just riding a bit slow, and that means that in the home straight, the faster horse can't make up the ground. So if you've got a lead, you tend to stay there. So that's bet four. So overall, not a great day, not a great week. 4 lost days. We've had longer losing runs than that. We've had longer monetary debt losses than that. About £45 down for the week after 4 days. And I know in the context of kind of the profit of the channel, it's okay, but it still don't feel very nice when I know that people are following the bets and not having much to cheer about. At least we had a winner yesterday. We've had one winner in 4 days, which is a pretty terrible statistic for this channel. So those of you who are new, I'm sure you're going to love following the bets today. What have I got? I've got some interesting bets today. I've predominantly gone in the evening with mainly Dundalk and Southwell or Southwell. Never quite know on that one. There's lots of places that spelt the same, so I think maybe it's Southwell. I spent my life calling it Southwell, but I think it's Southwell. So anyway, we've got some bets there. I've not got anything at Ayr or Newbury today, so the main sort of meetings in the afternoon, I've not got anything. I couldn't find anything I liked. So 4 bets, 2 Trixies, 2 Lucky 15s, all each ways today. So bet 1, I've got 3 horses here, 2 Leicester, so these are the only Leicester ones I've got. 320 Chryso Cumrag, 9-1. That one's been backed in quite a bit. It's if it was much lower than that, I mean, 8s is probably my ceiling on that, I think, in the context of the race. 425 Leicester, Wonder Elmos Man, 11-1. That's been fairly steady, to be honest. 11-1's a reasonable enough price. Sky Bet a 5 on that one, so watch out. And then I was umming and ahhing, and I've put it in. So in the 750 Dundalk, we've got Nelly Murphy. Now we backed it this earlier in the week, very recently at least, and it didn't run so well. And I've put it in today. and I know this is going to look like a silly bet. It's 125 to 1. It's not up there with the two horses we've had placed at triple figure odds. I'm not going to tell you that. It's not in that class. But I was umming and ahhing, and I was like, I want to stick it in because it's a 6-runner race. And the reason I'm putting it in is I just think it's hugely overpriced. I think it should be, if I was writing the book, I'd have it more about 16 to 1. And the reason being, you've got two horses at the top of the market that on paper form is much better than Nelly Murphy. Now, neither of those have run for a while, so they've got to come out first time. They're also upped in distance both for the first time. And both of them, the first time out, wasn't their strongest run. So they're unexposed horses, and they clearly look on paper like they're better than Nelly Murphy. But Nelly Murphy's got fitness on its side, and it's also got Dundalk experience, and the other two do not. You've then got, I think, a third favourite that's unraced that looks great on paper, but it's unraced. And then the fourth favourite, I don't like it. It's only run once. Again, breeding-wise looks good, but if you go on form, Nelly Murphy's better. So I'm kind of arguing a case that there's a reason why on a certain any day of the week that Nelly Murphy could actually beat any of them. I don't really think it's going to get top 2. I think it's the kind of horse that's probably going to outrun its odds. And if you're playing side markets like Bet365 extra places or Paddy Power and Betfair, where you can take, I think it's 12 to 1 at the moment, you can get on it coming in the top 3. Those are probably more viable bets, but I wanted to stick it in. So I've talked far too much on that. It's not a massive lump on kind of a horse, and it's not as good as the other two triple figure odds I've got. And I'll be straight with you. And those two, I spent a lot more time telling you why those were decent enough. But I wanted to stick it in. So 20p each way, Trixie, 240p win singles on the bottom two. So Wanda, El Mossaman and Lenny Murphy. That's what we've got. Bet 1. I better speed this up. Bet 2. Bet 2. Everything's gone on the floor. Southwell. Okay. Southwell, each way lucky 15. 435 Air Show, 11 to 2. 505 Jack Ryan. That's come in from 33s. You could have got that last night. I'm still happy enough with 14s. 710 Mudlahim 25 to 1, that was 33s as well. And then the 810 Kulu, that was 8 to 1. All apart from the top one, the three of them have been backed in. 20p each way lucky 15, and we've got a 40p each way double 680. The way I've done the bets there, it's really easy. If you're only wanting to do a £10 or £5, you can literally just half and quarter stake, because everything I'm doing is 20s and 40 pences, so you can convert it to 10s and 20s or 5s and 10s if you want to do a really small bet. That is bet 2. Let me find bet 3. Whoa, bet 3, Dundalk Special. Here we go. It's the Dundalk Special. 550 Godhead, 11 to 1. 620 Artistic Work, 13 to £2, 4 places. 720 Eloy Demerel, we'll go with 14 to £1, 5 places. 820 Mossib, 12 to £1, 4 places. It's a 20 pence each way lucky 15 and a 40p each way double on that one. And then finally, bet 4 is the last of the Trixies. We've got 2 at Wexford here and another Dundalk. So we've got 6:30 Wexford, Chapter 2, paying 4 places on Sky Bet 18s. 6:50 Dundalk, Crystal Clare, no extra places, 11 to 1. 7 o'clock Wexford, Call of the Loon, paying 4 places, 17 to 2. And we've got 20p each way Trixie and 240p each way singles on the 2 that I think have got the most value. So Crystal Clare is a bigger price than that one, but the 2 Wexford ones are the ones I'm doing the singles on. So 240p win singles on those. That should take us up to £20. So that's our bet. Word on the golf. Lahiri's had a great start. He's 4 under. Chris Kirk's had a decent enough start. He's 2 under. The rest of them are kind of middle pack, apart from Jimmy Walker, who didn't have a good round. So it's a fair enough start. Camilo Villegas was doing really good at one point. He was up to 4 under, and then he dropped back. And Charlie Hoffman had a funny one. And he hit 2 double bogeys in his round, so he would have been a bit closer. So overall, happy enough with where we're at with the golf. We'll see how that goes. And then it was the end of March, so quick spin through March statistics. We had 591 on, 712 back, so that's £121 profit despite the last 4 days. So we made 20% profit in March. Highlights being we had some really good price winners, 28, 25, 16, 16s and 12 to 1 winners. That was really nice. Places, 125s, 50s and a couple of 40 to 1 places. That was really good. Overall, channel, as we speak, is running 22% profit, 25% if it was horses only, because the golf is a little bit behind. So decent enough stats. The last thing I was going to do, a couple of name checks. I just want to do a name check to Tony, because if you see his posts, I was bantering with him yesterday, but I'm loving Tony's posts. They are so creative. He's basically taking all of the names of the horses I've got and putting them into some riddle about the day, and it is keeping me very amused. So thank you, Tony. They are excellent. And the last thing is to Tom. Tom confessed yesterday, since he started betting these horses win single bets, then they've not been doing so good. So Tom, I politely ask you to not follow the bets today, to allow more of them to do well and allow more people to benefit if you do believe you are jinxing it. So thanks to Tony, and Tom, stop following the tips. Thank you, if you could be so kind. All right, that's what we've got. Tomorrow, Scottish Grand National Day, and annoyingly, the horse that I put in the Lucky 15 that we did as an anti-post, Funzy Lucky 15, and Rillo, Paul Nicholls has pulled it out. And he's going to go and take it to the Bet 365 at Sandown, I'm sure. I thought 300-5 was his horse for that race, and I thought he was going to go in Rillo, and he's not anything in the Scottish National, so he's scuppered my plan on that one at the first leg, so that's really annoying. But anyway, Scottish Grand National looks good tomorrow. 7 places on Sky Bet. We'll see how we go. Enjoy your day. Hopefully the weather is less mad than it was yesterday, and I will see you in the morning. Thank you very much.